I'm back, and I'm here to stay. Cheers to 2020. Because it has been one hell of a year. No cap. No cap. It's been one hell of a year. But I will say that there has definitely been a lot of lessons learned. A hell of a lot of lessons learned. And a whole lot of things to be grateful for and appreciative for. And just a whole lot of things to be angry at. Because it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you ever think, why did this shit happen now? Like, why did this shit happen now? Why did this shit happen the way that it did? Why this shit had to happen for things like this to happen? You know, like, it's just... 2020 has been an interesting way of, like, I want to say giving revelations to me. A bunch of spiritual awakenings and such things like that. You know, things that you... Like, being able to put two and two together on a lot of things that start to make sense to you, and you're just like you're just kind of like, damn, like, it took me this long to realize the truth about this shit, and it's like, this is the reason why I was the way I was because of the way that I was thinking when I heard something or knew about something or something that I was misinformed about that eventually got revealed, and then realizing how it plays a part in your judgment. It plays a hell of a big part in your judgment. Like, based off what happened in your life in the past, of course, like they always say, affects the present. And then it eventually the present starts to affect the future if you allow it. Now, basically, it's like learning so many things from the past and just putting it all together into how I am or how I've been in the present time. It's like, damn, it's been a hell of a lot of it's a hell of a lot of things. It's a hell of a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought of, that I remained so silent about, like, that I felt silence was the best way for me to get over it. And turns out I was fucking wrong. I was completely fucking wrong. Yeah, right. Silence is a bitch to you, boy. You be silent. That shit will eat you the fuck up all your life, and you not realize it until it's too late. Or you start to realize how much it affects you when anytime you've reached a breaking point in life, when it felt like it was a breaking point, like that shit was the breaking point of all other breaking points you ever had in your life to where it was actually traumatic. That type of stuff is what would make you think, like, why is it that I have so much built up emotion inside of me to where every time when it feels like things are falling apart, I feel worse than before or worse than ever. So, doing a lot of self-reflect was the most interesting thing I could have ever done in my life, because the power of self-reflect literally will give you the answer to all of your situations and all of your problems. The power of self-reflecting, to just look back and just think about what it was in the past that started the downhill freaking nose plane dive that happened in your life. Like, what the hell started that nose dive, to the ground or to the sea? So, power of self-reflect allows you to even fucking see from the very moment something happened inside of the plane, like something in the plane went malfunctioning and stuff, to cause the disturbance in the maneuvers and shit like that, and disturbance in the controls, to where it essentially did the nosedive because the plane couldn't be controlled anymore. So you do self-reflecting to where you can actually look back and see what parts in the plane malfunctioned at what time, and what specific malfunction started a chain reaction for other malfunctions for the plane to ultimately take the nosedive. That's what the fuck I realized in my life. I realized what the fuck all of the malfunctions were in the plane that I was in that caused the nosedive that happened in my life. So I've been able to look back and basically find all of those malfunctioning parts and be able to fix them. Well, I actually say that a little loosely. Now, of course, you can't fix every bit of damage that's already done, because you know the damage it's done. Like if it's damaged and it can't be repaired, then it's done. But there were a lot of damages that I started noticing that it wasn't as big of a deal. Like some of the damage that you see where you would think it would cause more damage or cause damage later and make it worse, to where you actually look at it and you're like, nah, that it didn't have to go that far. You know, it didn't have to, but it did, because it was supposed to, for me to learn something about it, for me to know how to control it, how to maintain it, and how to never let it get past the best of me. So, the non-stop self-reflect that I've been doing for the past several months has made me see so many answers to a lot of my problems, and understand like why I've lacked like showing like my full like potential type of shit. Like, you know how you ever like pay attention to like things in your life that has always been told to you, as like you look at it as like your life's message. Like, and I always understood that my life's message was always like, keep your head up. Simple shit like keep your head up, keep going, keep moving. You know, you got potential, you know better, all that type of stuff. It's like those type of words essentially is like what, you know, I looked at as my life's message now. Like, this is something that is like a staple for me. Like, I'm supposed to keep moving. That's what it's like a consistent sign that somebody's trying to tell you, like, yo, you need to keep moving, because the moment you stop, you're gonna fail. The moment you stop, you're gonna fall. The moment you look back, you're gonna fall. If you stop right now to look back and worry about what's going on around you, you're going to fall. You just need to keep moving. So when you keep moving, the answers will manifest to you, and your problems will be solved, and the life that you want will be made in your image, of course. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep moving, or are you going to keep looking back? The life that you want to live is always going to be in front of you. The life that you never want to live is always going to be behind you. But the problem is that if you don't let go of the life that you don't want, if you don't let go of all the situations that result in the fears that you have, that you want to keep left behind, all of that will carry over to the life that you keep imagining that you want to live. And the fact that it doesn't go the way that you would want it would make you think that you're going to get a life that you don't want, that is right behind you, that you keep on holding on to because of all of the frustrations, the pain, the anger, all of that stuff from your past that you haven't released and let go of yet. It's still here for that real reason why you haven't let go yet. That's why it's still there. You still hold on to it, and you feel as though there's nothing you can do to let it go, so you feel like it just has to be a part of you. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's what's going to create the false image of yourself. The false image. From all that stuff from your past that you hold on to, all that trauma, all that anger, all that shit, that creates the false image of you. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you see yourself one way, that's pretty much the way that you wish would be how you are. But you're continuously blinded by what you already are. And that's from all the stuff that you have inside. So this is what makes you who you are today. Keywords: past makes the present. So this is who you are to this day. And I had to realize who the fuck that I really was all this time. And I thought I was a good man. I thought I was a kind, righteous saint, all that type of shit at one point. Good boy, virgin, you know, didn't really want to have sex and all that type of shit. Wasn't really hurting females, but I kind of did, unintentionally and shit. So it's kind of like a damn. I thought I was a good person until I got told that I wasn't, and then I was just like, "You fucking lying? Yes, I am a good person. What you talking about?" Then after self-reflecting, I was like, "Damn, I really wasn't." I really wasn't. I was like, "Damn, I kind of have like some." Oh, I got some powerful moments where I was like kind of like on the other side, like holy shit, like that was me, like I did that, I said that, like I thought like that, like what? Yeah, that's where it hit me really hard too. So I was like, whoa, no way that was me, no way, ain't no way. I don't think I've ever felt like that by myself in such a long time, where I really look back on shit and was like, damn, that really was me? Like, I know there's people that have periods like that where they look back and they be like, damn, I sounded like that. I sounded so cringe and shit. Like, they be laughing at their own self when they look back at throwback pictures and shit and see how the fuck that you looked, the way that you looked in the past. Like, yo, I kind of did the same thing when I used to look at throwback pictures of myself. And then it was like, once it got to like just me thinking about decisions I made, like decisions and words that I said, you know what I'm saying, to people and how I responded to somebody and shit like that, that's when I was like, oh man, damn, there's some stuff that I kind of wish I could have took back. And then there were some decisions that you wish that you could take back as well, you know what I'm saying, like you realize some decisions that kind of paved the way for a lot of things that happened, like it started a chain reaction for like bad moments that you really didn't realize were actually lessons for you. So it's just like, damn, like you just realize so much when you self-reflect, and you just like that. It was like, was this supposed to be the right time for me to do this? Because I don't know why I could not seem to do this beforehand, and just be able to kind of get rid of some of this stuff like early on. But it's like, maybe there was a reason why there was a specific moment where I needed to, specifically in 2020, throughout all this bullshit that was going on. So it is definitely has done a hell of a lot in terms of healing and feeling much more restored. Like I look back and I realize that there was moments where I did lose myself. There was moments where I fucking cared too much about how people thought of me. Like I cared too much about being judged, which is something that a lot of people, care about too much nowadays, is being judged. You worry about, no, matter of fact, I take a step back. I realize social media is the fucking drug. Social media has been the drug, has been the fucking thing that has actually kind of like affected my character a lot. It has affected my character. Social media has indeed proved that it is a super addicting drug that will kill you if you really don't know how to get rid of it. So I discovered that in my self-reflect, that social media was essentially my drug as well, because it was just like being judged and wanting to be seen, wanting to be seen and wanting to be like, I guess you say like you wanted to be famous or something, or you just wanted to have clout. You wanted to have a clout. I'm not a clout chaser. Fuck no, and I'll never be a clout chaser in my life. But it was the fact that you don't chase clout, but you wish that it would just happen. You know what I'm saying? Like people get lucky moments in their life where clout just comes to them out of nowhere. Like just on a random day, they walk outside and someone just fucking throws some clout on them. And bam, next thing they know, they're trending on the media, they're trending on Instagram and Twitter and shit. Then they're getting a bunch of followers, then they're getting a bunch of likes and all that. And then next month you see them fucking posting a picture with Drake or somebody or some shit. Now they in LA, now they fucking in Cali, and it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And you just be wondering, what the fuck? When can that happen? You know what I'm saying? When can that happen to me? And I understood that shit took a toll on me too. Cause I'm like, in my head, I'm always like, when will it happen to me? But it's like, you can't rush that shit. You're not supposed to rush that shit. You're not supposed to sit there and just be on social media and just expect yourself to blow up and be popping just because you got on the media that day and did something that you feel like deserves all the attention in the world. So that was kind of me, and to an extent. And then I cared about being judged because of my image, the way that I showed myself, because you wanted to appeal to everybody, or you wanted to try to appeal to people the best way without fully changing yourself, but then you unintentionally change yourself because you crave that attention / clout. Damn, man, 2020 made me learn so much shit, man, about life. And then it's like, once you learn how to throw all that shit away about clout and just about like being judged and just being your own person, like you just now learn how to be free. You learn how to be free. I thought I was ugly at one point. I was called ugly in fucking elementary school, middle school and shit. Like, I ain't even have girlfriends till I was in fucking like 7th grade. You know? I was called ugly and shit, like a lot. All because of the size of my head and shit, but I make up for that somewhere else. Keep that in mind. So, you know, but then it's like, it was weird because I remember when I was called ugly so much to where I actually looked at myself in the mirror and I actually accepted it. I said, you know what? I do got a fucking peanut head. You know what? Like, yeah, I do got a peanut head. Like, that's what the fuck I see every time I look in the mirror too. So I'm just like, let me just go with it. I started answering when people called me peanut and shit, making fun of me. I just said, yo, what's up? It's funny because people noticed that I got used to it and just got comfortable with it to where it wasn't an insult no more. It was just like, this is pretty much my nickname. So just take it or leave it. You either take it or you just gonna continuously get mad every time somebody call you. You're gonna be fighting everybody every day, which is gonna contribute to the level of stress that you'll grow up with. So I said, fuck it. And then throughout my life, when everybody fucking starts maturing, that old nickname dies away. Ain't that right? That old nickname dies away. Cause everybody done grown up and matured. They see I fucking grown up and matured too. I fucking talking about sleeping with women, losing my virginity and shit like that. Doing all kinds of shit, you know, having secrets about my life and all that. So it's like, yeah, that name died down to where it's a new name that's pretty much rising up. Just saying. But, you know, I will honestly say that I feel so much better just being able to put the past completely behind me. And the fact that it took a world pandemic for that to even happen just makes it even more, it makes it even more powerful. You know that it's more powerful when throughout a world pandemic, when literally everybody is supposed to be home and is at least supposed to start learning how to self-reflect and be there with family, because anytime you want to go anywhere, you want to go outside and shit, you run the risk of catching motherfucking COVID. So it's like, yo ass better best bet stay in the house. What is the rush for it? That was also the biggest message that I hit with my life as well. What the fuck is the rush for? What is the rush to get outside for? You ever ask yourself that question? What is the rush to get outside for? There is always going to be outside, no matter what day you wake up. There's always going to be outside. Outside doesn't disappear. You know, the sky doesn't disappear. The fucking ground doesn't disappear that you fucking walk on and, you know, step on, fall on. That doesn't disappear. So when people feel as though they have to go somewhere every day just so they can feel like their life is like active, that's a drug. That's a drug. Because you feel like staying in the house means you do nothing and that your life is meaningless. Like you don't do shit if you're just in the house all day. It's not fun. And that's where you start to see the problem in that. Because there is no place like home, right? There is no fucking place like home. So where is it that you feel like you need to go to feel like it's home? Or to feel like it's the most satisfying place you could ever be that you would never want to leave? So what is the rush to go outside for? And I could not believe that throughout this pandemic that there was so many people arguing about going outside and going somewhere and being mad that places were closed down and places were closing early and that you had to walk out with a mask on to protect your own self from catching the disease. It's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? It's like we deal with diseases, infections, and sicknesses every damn year. So the one time where the world is at a crisis, the one time where the whole world, the whole earth, planet Earth, remember that, planet Earth, the whole planet Earth is going through a global pandemic, and you feel as though your opinion is more important than your own fucking health. Let alone you think that you'll be fine by not adhering to the safety precautions. What makes you so fucking great? What makes you so different? You know, I walked out here with motherfucking no mask on and shit sometimes. Not in the store, of course. Not in the store. But actually, no. I stopped wearing my mask outside, like, you know, walking around the street wearing a mask on like I'm going to instantly catch, like COVID is just sitting in a specific spot in the air that I'm going to just walk into and then poof, I'm going to sniff it. Oh, COVID. Like, not how the fucking shit works. Crazy. There was somebody that told me, so it was a house that I walked by when I was walking down the street and shit. There's a guy that was out there mowing his lawn or trimming his grass or trimming his bushes. I don't fucking remember. But I just walked past him, didn't really pay him too much mind. I was listening to my music, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So, he basically, he said hello. I walked past him, he said hello, I said hello. And then he looked at me. He looked at he had like a concerned look for me when I walked past him, which was very interesting. I like to point this out. So he looked at me and he was just like, "Sir, please don't wear your mask outside." Now, of course, in my head, I'm like, "What do you mean don't wear your mask outside? Like, what are you trying to say? You trying to just like get me exposed to it?" But no, he was being very, very reasonable. He was saying, "Don't wear the mask outside while you're walking because you still need air. You still need to breathe. You still need to breathe fresh air. Don't keep all that air and all that, them germs trapped inside that mask, man. Just take it off as you're walking out. And when you're at a store or when you're at a place like that's crowded with people, that's when you put it on. Just be smart with it. Don't be so paranoid." And ever since he told me that, I said, "Thank you, sir." Ever since he told me that, I listened. Because if the Lord wanted me to have COVID, I would have been had it by now. That's what I kept saying to myself the times where I wasn't wearing masks and such. I was like, if the Lord wanted me to have it, I would have had it. By the way, the masks don't work the way that you really think that they would. The mask is supposed to prevent you from actually spreading it if you already have it. The mask, I promise you, is not necessarily going to prevent you from catching it, like actually getting it yourself. But if you somehow do get it, wearing the mask prevents you from spreading it. That was what I was told. So, I don't know if that theory is actually true or incorrect, but that's what I was told. And that's how I've been living. And I've been perfectly fine, which is interesting, but I've been perfectly fine. So, yeah, 2020 has been a hell of a year. There's definitely going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of improvement. There is definitely going to be a lot of blessings. And without a doubt, there is going to be one hell of a new beginning. Oh man, for 2021, one hell of a new beginning indeed. There is definitely going to be a new beginning that is coming in 2021, man, because 2020 has been just, I can't express it enough just how crazy 2020 has been. Also, I do want to give a special little shout out because 2020 did give me a niece. So, I go by Uncle Steph now. I can't believe that I actually became an uncle this year. And that has also been one of the key factors to my spiritual awakening, I guess, or my awakening, was the fact that having a niece and just realizing that this is a newborn baby in the family, and that I hold that title uncle forever. So, as uncle, it's like, what are you going to do now? How are you going to be there for your niece? And then I got my answer. So I know what to do. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Take care. Be blessed, be safe, and I'll see y'all soon.